Hey everybody, this is Bugsy here. I've been meaning to talk to you guys about a little something. Yeah, my Final Fantasy playthrough is still happening. It's still going to happen. But what I want to really say to most of you is, yeah, we gotta talk about Final Fantasy Remake and all the people that are like, oh my god, they lied to us. Let me tell you something. Remake wasn't just something they put in there just to be like, oh yeah, it's a remake. No, you are like the story is literally remaking the goddamn timeline. Like everybody's like, oh my god, I just wanted a shot for shot remake, and I'm like, there is some mods, folks. There's a lot of mods to give you what you need. But rather than actually understand that maybe remake must have meant something more, that was the key word right there. They didn't have to say remake. They could have just said Final Fantasy 7. So they could have said something like Final Fantasy Remateria. There's something else, Remateria, or like something like that. But y'all just like, no, it has to be, like, literally, it has to be a shot for shot remake. Let me just tell you something. There are mods out there, right, guys? There are mods out there that can give you a freaking remastered experience with nothing lost. You can literally have that. Stuff with HD textures and a bunch of shit. And I'm just like, I love Final Fantasy 7 Remake because I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen in it, and I'm just like, oh, what else we got, man? But I was looking at this one YouTuber. He's like, nah, they're rubbing it in my face. They're rubbing this thing in my face. I'm like, man, are you talking about Final Fantasy, or are you talking about something else? Because I don't think Nomura's like. I don't think the guy who's making Final Fantasy 7 is rubbing anything in your face. I gave myself a jump scare because my freaking avatar jumped out for a minute because the camera angle shifted. Anyways, I don't think Nomura's like rubbing it in your face like he's rubbing something else in your face. You need to chill. Literally, I saw that video and I was like, bro, it ain't that serious. The original timeline is still intact, my boy. It's not like it's gonna disappear. And you could say like, that is true, but we wanted to play a shot-for-shot remake of Final Fantasy. But really, if you played it as many times as I have, do you really want to play something like that? I mean, you can play a remastered version of it with mods, updated textures, a bunch of shit. There's a lot of stuff. And you know what? Let's go to the theater real fast. Because I want to show y'all something. I want to literally show you guys something. And how you guys like how you like the new posters I put up? I put Legend Dragon Ball Tale. I put some Tenchi Muyo stuff. Y'all know, you know when it comes right down there. I'm usually in here watching a lot of Tenchi Muyo stuff. But let me put this all up. Because I'm about to put it on the line for most of you that are like, no, Final Fantasy Remake could have been the thing that we could have all wanted. But like I'm telling you, there are mods for Final Fantasy that pretty much do what you want. I'm just saying, you have, like, there's a way you could still get that. without, you know, without dealing with all that extra stuff, you know. Now let me just pull it up. Because we need to talk. We need to talk. We need to talk to people that don't like Final Fantasy Remake. Because this is my first. This is my first little point here. Okay? This is my first point. I think the best one. I think the best. Yeah, let me see. Got 7. Sometimes, man, I'll be looking to the side. I'll be looking to the side. I just think, like, oh my god, is someone in here with me? Then I go like, no. Okay, hold up. My girlfriend texts me. I will be with you in a minute. Making a video about Final Fantasy VII mods. Okay. I'm just trying to find a video of Remako. I'm not trying to...
What's going on, guys? This is Tom here, and this is a very quick guide video of how to set up Final Fantasy VII to basically look like Final Fantasy VII Remastered. So a lot of people wanted a straight one-to-one remake with Final Fantasy VII Remakes.
Not the...
So this is my way of achieving that. With these mods, the game looks better than ever.
Okay, let me see. There's an ultimate mod set up for this. And honestly, I'm gonna just put this here. Because, you know what? Y'all be like, yo, but Bugsy, we want, like, but these are mods. I'm like, listen, my friends. I'm about to take you on a little ride. If you don't want to be on that ride, I suggest you back. Just you back up and keep crying that the remake lied to you, because literally it had remake in the title, and that basically gave you a hint. It's not no one's fault that you weren't able to pick that up. That's on y'all. Jesus, man. Oh shit, that's loud. Hold on. See, when I want things to be...
Many of you have been increasingly passionate when seeing the HD mods of Final Fantasy VII featured in my videos, and have wondered which mods that I'm using. Seriously, I've gotten over a dozen comments, even emails asking what Final Fantasy VII mods I'm using. Look no further, I compiled all the answers here for you. First and foremost, to do any of these mods, you'll need to head over to Quim and install sort of a base mod. It's called Seventh Heaven. This is essentially a mod loader, but it also downloads the mods for you, which makes switching between and installing various mods done with the click of a literal button. In the description box, I will have a link on where to download this mod loader, as well as both a written and video tutorial which explains the installation. It's relatively straightforward, and anyone should be able to install it. Once you have this mod loader / organizer running, this is where the real fun begins. When you click the catalog tab, you'll see numerous amounts of mods that you can simply click and download to install. It's fairly automated. Just make sure that you've looked at the preferred boot order list on Quim, as it can cause certain issues when mods are loaded out of order. From there, you can choose which mods you want to use by toggling Activate and Deactivate. The full list of the preferred loading order can also be found in the description box below. So with this big list of mods, the question becomes, which ones am I using? First and foremost, let's talk about character model mods, particularly with ones on the
And
field. In terms of character models for fields, there will be 2 listed in 7th Heaven, one for player characters and one for NPC.
that makes the character models look a little bit better. Like, honestly, it makes the character models look a little bit better and a little bit more up to HD kind of standards. You know, like, again, this whole mod setup right here has a whole bunch of stuff. This video has a lot of stuff, and let me see if I can get to the chase a little bit more. Like, I'm just saying, if y'all, like, I really just feel, if you really want a shot-for-shot remake of Final Fantasy 7, well, here it is.
You will also see options to replace world map and battle characters, where yet again, Calderasha is my preferred option, as it continues the continuity with the rest of the game. Calderasha's other mod is Cloud Dynamic Weapons mod, which is absolutely one of the coolest mods in
Look
Final
at
Fantasy
that.
VII. It will put
Look
whatever
at
Cloud
that,
currently
guys.
has equipped on his back, and
Look
this
at that.
ranges all the way from the Buster Sword to the Ultimate Weapon. For the Buster Sword in particular, you even get to choose between the Crisis Core Buster Sword or the original. But I have to be honest, I prefer the original Buster Sword. Though many of you may be thinking, replacing all these models is great, but it's still going to be quite odd when the pre-rendered FMVs happen. This is not a problem, thanks to a category that should be listed under Media-Movies. Dr. Lilo's Chibi FMV replacement mod has actually gone through the trouble of replacing the Chibi character models in every pre-rendered scene. It replaces them with the full-size ones which appear in the Calderasha models. Though sometimes they may look kind of funny, it's still better than an abrupt switch to Chibi models which pull you out of the immersion.
Can I say to you, can I say to all of you, I'm not trying to be a dick, but can I just say that this was Hero Alone and y'all just, again, Final Fantasy Remake lied to us. They lied to us. No, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, Devron from Clownfish TV. Jesus. Oh my God. There's so many things that Clownfish TV said that I would have to say for a whole host of other videos, but I don't have time for that. I just wanted to say that. Like, do I feel like Square Enix lied to us? Nah. It was, the key was in the title. Y'all just sat there and was like, remake. And I know, it was like a very innocuous thing. You didn't really put too much thought into it. You were like, oh my God, it's a remake. But you didn't really understand what remake actually entailed. When I was like, oh, but they could have said remastered or something like, or they could have made something like, they could have actually called it remakoed or something. You know, because I know it's like the actual mod that does that, and they could have did something similar to that, but they chose the word remake. Remake seems more deliberate. You know what I'm saying? It gives you more of a hint. You know. Let us talk about Sephiroth being in the game. Sephiroth being in the game makes more sense because he's a Sephiroth that probably knows they lost. We don't know whether he's from the end of Final Fantasy VII or like, hell, he could be like the Advent Children Sephiroth that Cloud defeats for all we know. God dang it. But like, since he knows he's gonna lose, he's the whole first part of the game, because I do count the game that we play as the first part. The whole first part of the game is literally just, Sephiroth trying to lead everybody to an alternate reality where he has a chance of winning. Because Sephiroth didn't really care about Cloud or any of the other any of those, or he didn't care about Cloud or Tifa. He just wanted to get his plan underway. but he knows that he loses to Cloud. Not once, but probably twice. He knows that he loses. So he's trying to get them, he's trying to move the timeline in different ways so he can finally do what he set out to do. You guys can be like, well, that's hokey. Yeah, it might be a little hokey. But some of you don't understand, the original timeline probably still exists because of multiverse theory. That timeline, okay, if there's like an alternate timeline with Zack, the original timeline with everything that's still intact about Final Fantasy VII is still there. You guys are literally butthurt because you thought you were getting something when literally the actual thing they were saying, this is going to be different, was staring you right in the face and you didn't realize. And think about the naming convention of the second game that's coming out. Rebirth. Like, think about that. So while some of you are just like, hey, they're rubbing it in their faces. No one's asking you to look, dude. Like, seriously, no one's asking any of you guys to look. Jesus. And I know not a lot of people, some people are still talking about it, but I gotta air off my grievances. Because, like, it's not like they didn't it's not like the game didn't tell you maybe things are gonna be a little different. Things are happening differently. Sephiroth is here. The stuff with like Aerith is a little different too. Characters from the novel are kind of being seen. There are different things going on. Like, dude, those were big red flags, and those were the beginning moments. And it excites me because I'm like, where is this going? And oh yeah, I'm gonna put this link in the description below. It may be out of date, so you may have to go look and find like a more update kind of thing. And I get it. A lot of you, some of you that didn't even like some of you that didn't really even like Final Fantasy VII will be like, oh, well, this is just more unneeded stuff for a game that was already overrated. I know some of you think like that. But I could say a lot of things why I like Final Fantasy. And the Final Fantasy VII, and the fact that it resonates with me more than it ever has before because certain things that happened with me, it resonates with me a lot more. Because, if you say the game's so overrated and like blah 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 blah, it's all slog and blah 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 blah. Well, that's because the theme about it is life and death, and some people just shirk it off as like, oh well, it's just blah blah blah, it's just fluff and being pretentious and all this other stuff. But I'm like, dudes, have you ever lost somebody? Like, I'm saying lost somebody that is like really personally in life. Like, you feel like you lost them and you really are still kind of struggling every day knowing that they're not there anymore. But you still kind of feel like they're a little bit around, still kind of guiding you, but kind of like with an invisible hand almost. You know what I mean? See, if you felt like that, you would understand Final Fantasy just a touch more than you do. I'm not saying everybody gotta lose people to really understand Final Fantasy VII, but you kind of get a little, you kind of gel with it. I feel like I gel with it a little bit more because I lost somebody that was important to me. But so there's that. But I really feel like you should at least play it once. Forget how some of us praise it and play it yourself. Don't look at a walkthrough and just experience it. Experience it like how I experienced it. Well, maybe not with emulation per se. That's kind of just me. That's how I first played it. But I don't know, if you got like a PlayStation 1 and you just got Final Fantasy 7 just sitting there, play it. And don't be like, Bugsy, well, you know, I got a job. I'm saying wait until your day off and play it. You know? If you got some time, set it aside for a minute. Lay a little bit in the chunk and see how you feel about it. I don't get why people be like, well, y'all may like Aerith, but I don't because I don't blah 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 blah. But like, when you get down to why people like Aerith, it's not just because she's the dead girl. It's because Aerith's like a very important part of your party, and you know, her personality, and a whole bunch of other stuff that goes down. And it's just, Final Fantasy is a lot of things, and I just feel like some people that haven't experienced it, you need to take a few minutes. You need to take some time out of your day and just play a little bit. I'm not saying do it all in one sitting. Don't be like me. Because I'm playing it for my Let's Play on my channel. And I'm also doing it on my own time on my Nvidia Shield. Because yes, I kind of eat, because until Rebirth comes out, until I get a PlayStation 5, I'm just kind of playing that. Getting myself all psyched up and ready. Because that's what I do. But like I said, the mod loader basically gives you what you need. So anybody that says, well, Bugsy, the mod loader is loading mods is too complicated. You can do it. If they made it so simple, y'all can just, it's automated. There ain't no, the only reason you won't do it is because you're just lazy. You don't want to do that kind of stuff, even when it's super duper easy. I'm just saying. That's for the people that just say Final Fantasy VII is overrated. Why should I dedicate a video to it? Because whether you like it or not, it was important. It was important to RPGs at the time. A lot of them tried to push the envelope after Final Fantasy VII. They tried to top themselves. Because the story for this was so good. They all tried to top themselves and try to outdo what Final Fantasy has done. And some have kind of gotten to that point. You can kind of say that Kingdom Hearts kind of gets to that point. But people will get kind of like, oh my god, it's so convoluted. Okay, now this is just, hold up, I need to turn my mouse off. Okay, I just need to just set it. I just turned it off. So, anywho, I just think that you guys need to like at least like, for those of you that think that the remake was lying to you, it was kind of blatantly obvious. You just thought you're getting shot for shot because, well, that's what they wanted you to believe. They wanted you to believe that you were getting something regular, and then surprising you. They wanted to surprise you with that. That's what the marketing was really trying to do, but y'all just like, Bugsy, shot for shot. And I'm like, you know, what you're seeing right now, ding. It even changes the cutscenes to make it look a little bit more in tune with the mods you got in it. Yeah, the mods you got on the game. So it's like what's stopping you? The Final Fantasy HD remake that you wanted has been right here the whole time. Well, you guys have been like, no. I'm just saying. For me, the remake, the Final Fantasy remake series is gonna be pretty interesting. I'm all for it. I'm down for it. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know who's gonna die, who's gonna live, but I'm down for it because this just excites me even further. But I understand if you still, after everything I said, you still don't like Final Fantasy Remake. I ain't gonna tell you not to hate it, but I am gonna tell you that, you know, you bought the game and didn't really think when you looked at the word remake. I'm just saying. There was a big indicator that something was gonna go down in a minute anyway. You guys just didn't see it. But I'm gonna go. I'm going to actually, I don't know. I'm gonna probably sit here and watch some movies, or probably listen to A Way to a Smile. Yeah, I'm in that kind of Final Fantasy mood right now. But let me just say this. Am I trying to tell you how to feel? No. Am I trying to tell you how to feel? Nah. Because you can feel however you want to feel about the remake. I'm just saying, it was kind of obvious. You know? And the people that are acting like it's, you know, it's always in your face, you can't run away from it. How about this? Whenever you see a video of it, just back away. Look at something else. Don't tell me that well, Bugsy, I see everything on Twitter. You can mute the words Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. You can totally block it out of your freaking feed. You can actually ignore it. You have the power to. You can do it. Just try. Do I think that Final Fantasy VII Remake is perfect by any means? Nah. It's not. Because, you know, it's not completely. I feel like it's mostly for fans who have actually, you know, played the games before. Y'all, you know what's gonna happen. You know what's coming. You know what's gonna happen in, like, you know what happens in the original, but then Remake throws a bunch of curveballs in your face, and you're just like, okay, what in the fuck is going on? We see Red 13 a little early. Yeah, what? Like, the mid-girl section is kind of condensed. What the hell? I do believe that it's gonna be pretty. I do believe that it's either gonna go down as the worst thing or the most interesting thing, and I like to go with the most interesting take on it, because at the end of the day, you got mods if you want a shot-for-shot remake. Okay, you got mods. And maybe the mods ain't enough, but I say if you want a shot-for-shot remake of Final Fantasy, go for that. But if you want to jump with me, if you want to come with me to the unknown journey in the next game, I say let's all just buy Rebirth, see what we think about it, and just go from there. But hey, do what you do. Peace.